Good morning, everybody. This is Stacy Turner with our DMO Pro, and we were just kind of chatting a couple minutes before we got started here, and I just said something that I thought maybe I should share that with everyone. And I said events just kind of stir up conversations, and so that is what we get paid for. So we get paid to talk to people, and events give us the reason to do that, right? So it's not always a way to measure the success of an event of how many people come because people have busy lives and they're doing things, and it may not be that this event they're able to come to, but events give you a reason to go back to conversations and go back into your world of friends from before Juice Plus, or especially if you're new to everyone in your life, and offer something to them. And I really like that about our events, different than, let's say, a Pampered Chef party, which I love Pampered Chef stuff. But if you go to a Pampered Chef party, you're going there because you're going to buy something. They're going to, demo all of the products. And, I remember at one point, like, there's no money in the bank for Pampered Chef things. So I'm looking through where's the $8 spatula that I can at least buy something, because I didn't want to make the host feel bad, or I wanted to help her or whatever. So, but I love their stuff. But when you go to an event like that, it is to sell you something, right? And you might get a little bit of like a recipe or how to use tools, and it's the fun of the event and you get quality products. But with Juice Plus, our events are so highly educational, so centered on the education. I mean, have you guys seen some of those events this week? Another one tomorrow night on diabetes, that's not going to be recorded. And so if you guys, want in on that, I can forward some of those into our Voxer chat. If you guys have some others, like, there's really great education. And I can tell you from doing this for 20 years now, the message that we were telling 20 years ago is still relevant today. And it's even more so because all the information, it takes time for like things to catch up. If you guys remember Pam Popper, Dr. Pam Popper, she always says, once something is learned in the medical community, you would think as soon as it was learned, it would just spread like wildfire. Like we've got this cure, we've got this thing that works, we've got, this, whatever, and it would just spread and it would go really fast. She said it's 20 years from the time it's like identified as this is helpful, 20 years before it becomes mainstream. Like, that's kind of crazy, right? I remember being told years and years ago that this may be the first generation of children not to outlive their parents. And I'm seeing like the last 4 funerals that have been posted in Facebook for our town are all younger than their parents. Their parents are outliving them, and we're already seeing this. And that's not even the generation they were talking about. Like, so I'm just saying, like, the information that we share is absolutely relevant. It's not going to be in 10 years from now that somebody comes back and they're like, Stace, I totally knew you were a fraud. You were speaking fruits and vegetables for the last 2 decades. You were wrong. Fruits and vegetables are not good. And you led us all astray for 20 years. I promise that is not going to come back to get us 15 years from now, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 50 years from now. So our message is tried and true, and it's right. And I'll read a new book that will come out on some new subject. And then, dang it, if they're not telling the message, we've already known this. Like, we've already been speaking on this. So yeah, of course, like, you guys are just now talking about that inflammation, right? Insulin resistance, like, those are words that we've been using for quite some time in our health talks. And so it takes time for mainstream anything to catch up with any sort of new concept, even though it's not a new concept. But I promise you, no one's going to come back. And here's an example of this. So Beachbody is one of the network marketing businesses that just went to affiliate, and it was just a couple weeks ago. And a friend of mine here, the first time I told her about Juice Plus, she really wasn't interested. And I mean, she was like, "Yeah, I know what Juice Plus is, but that's all right. I'm okay." I didn't press. Like, I just kept inviting her to the things. She was very into exercise, nutrition stuff anyway. Like, I know this is going to make sense to her. It's not up to me to press this. Like, the longer she's around all of us, it's going to be fine. She'll catch on. And she did. She eventually ordered. And then I asked her, okay, what was that switch in your mind from you just kind of were like, you knew about Juice Plus, but you weren't sure. And she said, well, I was in Beachbody for years and we were exercise, 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 and we really pressed that. And I remember people talking about Juice Plus saying, come on, these people think that you can just have nutrition in a capsule. You're going to have disease in a like prevention in a capsule. You can't do that. You have to work out. Exercise is the way to go if you want longevity. You have to have exercise in your lifestyle. These foolish people just think nutrition is something. And she was serious about it. And then she said, dang it, if our leader over time, he didn't get super sick. I don't know if you guys know that part of that story, like in a wheelchair sick, and he regained his health through nutrition, through changing his nutrition. And he came back and now all he speaks about is nutrition. And he says, basically, I was wrong. And the people that were in the videos, the exercise videos, I used to watch one and, well, I didn't just watch it. I found if you just watch exercise videos, there's no benefit to it. I mean, it's really irritating. You have to actually do what they do on there. So I would actually do the exercise videos. And I really liked this gal. And she said, yeah, she has come back and said, I would say on these videos, do this exercise routine for 30 days and you'll have a body like me. And she said, I ate nothing. I exercised 3 times a day, like every day to get that body. Somebody following that video was never going to have that body. And I knew it and I did it for business anyway. And she was a part of that group too. So just interesting, right? That they came away, they've walked away 20 years later, because that was all through on my journey. I knew people that were a part of that. And I'm not saying the company was deceitful. I'm saying they got so focused on exercise that they put that as more important than nutrition. And now, all these years later, recognize nutrition is the most important. And she is saying that too for herself. She recognizes as she's getting older, nutrition is more important. So, you know, there's different fad diets that they come and they go, and we're going to see they go like the carnivore diet. I promise you guys, eating only meat for the rest of your life and no fruits and vegetables and no nutrients, even not even taking a capsule. I lost 2 guys to this. I was like, of course that would make sense to them. Just eat all the bacon and meat you want. But it's going to come back to them. Like it's going to come back that no, actually you did need fruits and vegetables. And Sharon and I were talking about that with one of my team members. So what we can have confidence in the message that we have, right? The message of nutrition. It's tried and true. It's not going anywhere. Fruits and vegetables are not going to go out of style. It's not going to come back that they're not good for you. And there's so many reasons why our capsules are great. I listened to another lady, her podcast, and she was talking about supplements and how dangerous they are and how they have solvents in them. And she has probably spent $20,000 in her lifetime taking these, and now know she put a lot of chemicals into her body, because even if supplements say that they're natural, like there's really no proven benefits. A lot of times they don't have any research, and then they don't even have ingredients that you really know, like what's the shell of that capsule and what's in that capsule. And you know, really, where are they getting this from? Because you can buy powdered anything from China or India or whatever, right? So it was just a confirmation again that we know who grows the produce in our capsules. We know what that shell is made of. We know that it's tested from us. We know that it's tested through NSF. It's a safe product that it's not going to come back later. Oh my goodness, you know, this product you guys have been talking about, it was poison all the time and you didn't know it. You know, I promise we know that is not true because of the simplicity of what it is. So stand in that confidence. And when you're doing those events, just remember that. And I think Sharon told me this years ago. If you are new doing an event and everybody else in the room has never been to an event, they've never heard about Juice Plus, they've never watched a video, or they've watched a video, but they don't know much about it. You know more than 100% of the people in that room about Juice Plus. And that is absolutely true for you guys. You know more about this business than 100% of a person who has never heard of it before. So just stand in that confidence and know that you can find information when you need it. And that kind of brings me to boards, because boards is an excellent way to get that information transferred to somebody's hands without having to go out and find all of that, right? So I had a new team member sign up this week. If you guys remember, I did the fair this last summer, and she was a contact from that fair. So how many months later is this? Okay, when I tell you the work you put in, you're not going to see for 3 months. That was end of July. So August, September, October. It actually was 3 months this time. It's so true. It's very often the case. So just give those, those relationships time to develop. And we've gone to lunch. I've invited her to events. She's a health coach. Her name is Chris. Like, she's going to be fabulous with this. She's excellent. And she's excited. So I invited her over. I wanted to see the process of signing somebody up and like watch it and see if it works. And it did. Everything worked fine. We put it in on mine. So went to stacyturner.juiceplus.com, added her as a partner. She added the products that she wanted. She checked out. The payments all went through, like everything went fine. She got her email to be able to get into her back office. And she said, I don't know year before, because I was kind of like, well, before Juice Plus, and she was like, I don't know, or before this IT, I don't know that before. So kind of like, don't talk to me about what it used to be like. And I was like, you're right. I don't need to tell you what it used to be like. But it was great to be able to see from her perspective. And new people coming in, they don't have something to compare. So what we teach them, that's what they're going to know on that back office or on our websites or whatever. So I thought it was good for you guys to hear. It did work. Everything went fine. And we still have plenty of time in the month. If something happens, an order doesn't go through, we just call and get that place where it's supposed to. And they're working on the back end. We can't get frustrated or live in that space of what if it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, we're going to get it fixed and we're going to move on, right? And so in my head, I thought, what if I just keep her as a customer for 4 months and then let all of this settle and then bring her back as a team member? And then I smacked myself for thinking that. And I said out loud, hey, maybe you would want to do what I do. And she was like, yeah, that would be great. And so don't hold back, guys. We just got to keep moving forward and it's all going to work out. So when we're talking boards, let's just know that I only use boards to help her. Now, in the past, boards has had, you had 3 boards, I think you could have for free. Now it's only 1. I mean, it's a business. Some people don't like that they've changed their business strategy. They have, I can't imagine how much work and effort and money that has been put into this. It's a business. It's a startup business, right? So they attracted all of us for free. Of course, we're going to end up having to pay. So I find it as, it's a very small amount of money that I'm paying each month for that. I don't know, is it $8, $6, $10? I'm not sure what it is a month. So then I can have multiple boards. But if you just want 1 free board, right? I don't want her to have to pay for something right now. There's no reason for her to pay for anything. So we just got her on boards, and then I took her to our team, which is Campbell Team Boards, and I did all the training from there, and it worked. It's not set up exactly like I have my boards for new people set up, but it worked. It was fine, and it didn't complicate things trying to get like send her different boards and change links on it and all of that. Like, it has been in the past, because I think I've got all these great things I want to share with someone on boards. She didn't need all of that. We just did training from 1 board, and then now she has all of that. So it was just simple to be able to do that. So let me share with you guys my screen. For those of you that do like boards and you want to have more options, then I would say, yeah, let's just go ahead and get you signed up and pay the extra money so that you have options to be able to make more pages and make more boards. So like today, I sent you guys a page that I had made that had all of the chop and swap information on there. For me, it's just super easy to be able to put it all in one link and send it to you versus send it into pieces. And then as I want, I can update that board. And then anytime you guys were clicking on that link, you would see any of the new information that I put in there. So I do a lot. I do have a lot of boards on here that are mine. And up at the top, it says web pages, and that's where I do a lot of my pages, like that I sent to you guys. And you can have unlimited if you pay for it, right? But this is the only board that I had her go to, the Campbell team board, and this is all it was. Now imagine a board, like over here on the left where it says Campbell team with this apple. Think of that as a filing cabinet. So all of those on the left side are my file cabinets, like individual cabinets. Okay, so this is a cabinet. Inside the cabinet is a drawer. Each of these boxes that says getting started, news and info, events, each of those is a drawer. And then if you open that drawer, then inside that drawer are different organizers, like the file folder organizers. When I open that file folder organizer, now I'm on the papers. This is actually a page. Yeah, so now I'm looking at the paper in that file. Okay. So sometimes you'll have, this is more of like, you've got the file separators, then this is an actual envelope that's in there. I can't think of file folder envelope. And then when you click on it, that's the papers in it. So if you think big picture, to the left is our filing cabinet. And then each of the little boxes is a drawer on here, and then it just keeps going down into detail. So right now there's not a search feature on boards. I think they've talked about getting one of those, but they don't have a search feature right now. So it's just kind of up to us to know the boards that you have. And you guys all can have access to this Campbell team link. If you've only got one board because you're not paying for it, then I would say go with what your team has. Your team upline NMD somewhere has a board, and you're going to want to use that board. So just keep that in mind. And my phone is or my computer's telling me that we're dying here. So hold on, guys. I'm gonna have to change my viewpoint a little bit to reach this. So just know kind of that's what we're looking at with that system. And if you keep that in mind and kind of teach that to a new person, it's not that difficult, right? Like that makes a lot of sense to people. And think about, in the past, we had a book that we sent to them, and we had all kinds of informations. We would make a notebook for them. Remember that? Think of this as like their notebook. So you don't have to put it together. I don't have to keep this updated. I have the people on our team, amazing ladies, that they are the ones that update all of this. So I don't have to, but I can pay for it to have more options if I want to. So here's just what I walked her through. We walked through the getting started, make sure she got into the system as a partner, placing her order, getting her on Boxer, downloading boards, just the basics of that. And then I showed her the frequently asked questions. As a health coach, you think she's got questions? She's got questions, right? I wanted her to know she doesn't have to know all the answers. I don't have to know all the answers. They're going to be in here. So we walked through some of these specific questions that she had about omegas and that sort of thing. And then I showed her where the research was, and the Juice Plus research, resources, and where the videos, and I told her these are the 2 videos that you'll send to people. And so that was it. That was kind of the basics of our training. And then I did more of like, on my own training, how do you get into conversations when you're thinking about who would you like to share this with? Think, why would they want to know about this? What's in it for them? Not, hey, I need a sale. And we printed out the sticky note sheet so she could start tracking her orders. So I was able to do everything from one board. It was super simple. It wasn't complicated. And I was like, I'm glad she can only have one board. She doesn't need all the other ones. And the way our new websites work, it's not like we can send people a link to the right now. I don't know if it'll forever be this way, but we can't just send them a link to our omegas on our page, or it has to be cart links that you create, and it's kind of confusing about that, right? There was no reason for me to go into that with her, right? And so it kept it simple for us. So that's what boards is, the simplicity of it. let me walk you through, like, if you're going to make a web page, because I think some of you were wanting to know this. So I use this for way more than just my business with Juice Plus. Like, I have an Airbnb and I took pictures of all of the rooms and what I wanted the rooms to look like and what needed cleaned in each room. And so if I have a new friend helping me clean the house, I can send them that link and then they see everything that needs to be in there. There were like 4 girls helping me. And every time I went over their beds, I was like, who made this bed? Like, what is this? Who did this? And so it was just easy to put it all in one place. I was able to send it to them. So you can think outside the box of what else could you use this for? I have like our fall Artesia health events. Everything that we had this month, I had it in one link. And when I was inviting people, I could tell them about it. And as the event happened, I just deleted it off of this board. So now all that we have left in October is our hormone event that we're just going to watch the recording. I don't have to speak on this, and we're going to do taco soup for dinner. So keeping that super easy. And then you can do a form in here. If you're doing it on your computer, you can add a form, and then anybody that fills this out, it gets emailed to me that they're coming. So then I have to check my email and make sure that I keep up with that. And then the sourdough class, also, if you're using your computer to do it by just going to boards.com like I am, then you can add links to your Venmo or to your PayPal. And I think Cash App as well has just been added. So I can keep this updated. I have 10 spots left for this class. 2 people have already paid. And then I've got this everything in one spot that I'm inviting people to. Now, I have found if I just send this link, I don't think everybody opens it up. So I can't just send that link and say, here's all the details for this month and never go back individually and send the flyer for that next event. And so then you got to like remind them, okay, this is the event that's coming. But let's just say somebody else made this event or this page. I could take a snapshot of this. I can screenshot it I have a Mac, so I would do Shift Command 4, and I can screenshot this. And now I have the flyer. That flyer is here. I can now send this to somebody else. I can save it into my computer. I can send it to my phone. I've got different options. So I just took that screenshot and now I have the flyer that I could send on to somebody. You can do the same thing on your phone if you're on somebody's board. Okay, let me check the chat because I want to see what I'm missing. I can't see the okay, tell us, Marcia, about your training event. That sounds fun.
Well, we just, one person who was responsible for just making a list of just going into, say, Campbellton and just finding things all through there, and just made a list. And then she just handed out the list and gave us, like 10 minutes to see how many we could find. And then we gave prizes for the people who found the most things in the allotted time. And it just really showed people who were not as familiar with boards how easy it could be. And it just, again, just familiarized them with how to search yourself and how to learn that, if you're, let's say you're looking for something on, diabetes, then, you would go to the frequently asked questions and whatever that board is actually called, FAQ and specific conditions. So you'd go there and search and see if there was something on diabetes. And so, it just got everybody into it again, and mostly focused on people who were maybe a little afraid of boards or didn't understand, or still wanting to have a search feature. Well, you can be your own search engine if you just are familiar enough with boards to know where things are and search for them. So it was fun. We had a good time doing that. You can actually do that live, or you can do it on a team call or whatever. You can, there's multiple ways to do it. So you can do it virtually as well.
Yes, that's so fun. Marcia, because the information is there. And you can say it's too much, it's too overwhelming. It's because you don't need all of that information at one time. Find the drawer that you need and then go look in that drawer. And it's not that difficult to comprehend once you kind of think of it in that way. So I love that as a team training. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So from your computer, you can do a lot more than you can on your phone. It's just easier on your computer. If I'm making a page, I typically do it from the computer so I can add those buttons. But you can also, if the photos are on your phone, because Voxer's on my phone and I get the flyer on my phone, I can save that image onto my phone. I can make the page on my phone, but then I can go back in on the computer and add the buttons to it if I needed to, the videos or whatever. But you kind of have a bigger screen to work with. Those web pages are probably the ones I'm using the most versus making these, more boards, because especially new people, if they're not paying for it, they're not going to be able to access all of those boards anyway. They could click on it, but they wouldn't be able to add it to their boards. They would be able to see it. So just kind of, and sometimes it won't let them see it. It says you have to add it to their boards. So I hope that helps you guys. I would say just get in there and play around with it. The web page is really, think of that as a web page. Like if it was an internet page that they had and you're scrolling down and you're seeing everything that's on that page, where the boards over here on the side is more of the file cabinet with the information. The pages just make it super easy to be able to share with someone. And I will share one other thing on this one. So these are my pages and my links. So right here, I have like from the past, that had all of our links to the quad, to the, all of that. It's just not relevant right now. So there's not a need to go back and fix all of those yet. But my web pages, I do have active. And this just makes it nice to send somebody information on one page that they're able to access all of Juice Plus info, including a couple of videos, which I don't know why it's not pulling up right now, but it has some videos embedded in there. And same thing, like I can assume I send somebody a link and they click on that link, but I don't always find that to be true. Where if I send them, this is the video link, they will listen, or they'll click on that. But having everything, you can have a picture of your family or of yourself. You can have the different videos if you want to embed those. You can have just information that overall that you want to share with someone. So I just kind of have a little bit of my story. I had made this image. Same thing, if I put this link in Voxer and you guys want it and you're like, well, I don't know what to put on a page, don't reinvent the wheel, just copy and paste what I have. So if you're like, well, I don't have this image, you can screenshot that image, edit it on your phone. Oh, look, now you have the image and you put that into yours. So don't make it, to where you think, oh, I don't know how to make that image. If I ever remade it, why do you have to put it in there? Same thing with this video. Find the videos you want and make sure it's the true YouTube video and not a shortened version like a bit.ly or a tiny URL. Those won't embed the same. It has to be one like this. So you would find the video that you want and then push that share button, and that's going to copy that YouTube link. And then that's the link you would have to use to embed in the video. So, or into this. Sometimes it won't, if it's not the right version of the link, it won't embed like these are. So you might have to find the one or just use mine. It's already in here. This is a Vimeo link. This is a YouTube link. This is the link you would have to have. I have our family's experience in here, and then the order here button should go to my stacyturner.juiceplus.com site. Healthy Starts videos. Again, I just screenshotted things off of the website that we had at one point somewhere, or a brochure. I don't even know. The Vanilla Complete Smoothie, that Bill video, and Luminate, and that's it. So this is what I send somebody who's interested in Juice Plus. It's a 7-minute video here. this is vitamins versus Juice Plus. I was just getting that question a lot, and then how Juice Plus was made. So I said how, it's a short video, so people will actually watch it. It's not okay, think of it this way. The page isn't what sells Juice Plus. Any more than the website is what sells Juice Plus, any more than the flyer is what gets somebody to an event. It's the personal connection that does. Okay, this is just a venue, an avenue to send them information to make it easy for all of it in one place. So you're not sending 5 links, right? Or 6 images, but the way that you're going to get an order is going to be through the conversation. It's the connection you're making with them, helping them connect why they would want this to solve the problem that they have, and just the patience of building into a relationship with someone. I knew right away I loved Chris when I met her at the show. I like at the fair. I just knew like she's going to make an excellent team member and a friend. I just was interested in getting to know her. She's new to the area, and I thought, I want to get to know her better. I think Juice Plus will eventually make sense to her and she would be a great team member, but I just invested in her and our friendship and our connection. And then when it made sense to her and it was the right timing, she said yes. And so that's where the real power of this is get to know people, invest in them, build into relationships. Events give you the reason to circle back to those conversations. Boards gives you easy access to send information to them. So you're not thinking, I have to know everything, or they're not thinking, wow, I have to know everything. I would never be able to know all of that, right? It's just processes and systems within our business. Events are systems, boards is systems, project broadcast is a system, Voxer is a system, our DMO planner is a system. Those systems keep the rhythm of conversations going to where you can build the momentum on the conversations to get results. And that's the beauty of this. Systems help keep things moving and flowing versus start, stop all the time. That's what gets exhausting. All right, I'm going to stop recording here.